Hey guys, I'm Papa Pete, back again with a pickup video. Today I got one oddball pickup, just a game for a system I don't normally collect for, plus a bunch of games to add once again to my Xbox collection. Stick around, I can't wait to show them to you.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Let's get right to it today, guys. First game I got to show you is for the PlayStation 3. I don't collect a whole lot of PlayStation 3, but I had a friend who was going to get rid of a bunch of games. They were just basically going to throw them away, and they sent me a message and said, would you like some? And one of the games they had there, I really did like. A lot of them were just some of the sports titles I already had, but I got a copy of The Godfather 2 for, again, the PS3. I haven't even got a PS3 hooked up right now, but this game is based upon, of course, it's a sequel to The Godfather, which was out on the Xbox and PS2, and this was the next generation. This was also available on the Xbox 360, but just like The Godfather was about the first movie, this is a sequel to the movie and to the video game. So, really neat to add to the collection. Open world adventure game, and really happy to have it. Thank you very much. Alright guys, the rest of the games that I have to show you today are from my Xbox collection. I'm going to start it off with a game called Crash and Burn. Obviously it's a racing game, but it's not just a racing game, although there's some strictly racing in it. There's also versions called Kamikaze, where half the cars are going in one direction, half are going in the other. They have different tag-like games within it, where you're the person who was it, other cars try to run into you, or you try to run into them. There's games called Last Man Standing, where you're trying to crash everybody out, and it just takes a lot of really different twists on the racing genre, sort of intermixing it with a demolition derby a little bit. Always interesting. Anyway, happy to add that to my collection. And the next game I got to show you is FIFA Street 2. I picked up FIFA Street a few weeks ago, and now I'm glad to add this in my collection. It's in absolutely great shape, and of course FIFA Street is a soccer game that's sort of like arcadey type, set in the streets, and it's more about doing tricks and stuff. I think it's 4-on-4 soccer action, so certainly not simulation, just an arcade fun soccer type game. A lot of fun to play. FIFA Street 2. Alright, the next game that I have is Batman Rise of Sin Tzu. Can't say that very easily. Anyway, it is based upon the new Batman Adventures. It's that animated series that this one is focused on. And again, it's just a beat-em-up fighting game set in that world. It's got decent reviews. I'd say slightly above average, but it's just a lot of fun. Games like this, just put them in, pretend who you are, and pretend that you're one of the superheroes. And frankly, if you're into that specific animated adventure, that version of it, then this would be a great game for you. There's tons of Batman games out there, so I'm trying to get them all, but you sort of got to pick and choose what your favorite ones are, because there really can be quite the different styles. Now, the next one that I picked up is a first-person shooter called Area 51. I'd seen this game a couple times, but just hadn't picked it up, and I found it for a pretty good deal, and it's in really great condition. I actually got most of these games, all these games actually, at Beats and Bytes in St. John, New Brunswick. So they used to have just a lot of sports games and such, but the last couple times that I've stopped in, they've actually had some pretty good other games. And manuals are there, and they've been in really good condition, so I've been really happy lately. Anyway, this particular game is set, of course, at Area 51. You go in and you battle aliens off the start with your squadron, and it's almost like you're battling mutants, and then as you go through the game, the enemies become more advanced. It's the aliens who are trying to take over the world. So, interesting premise. Midway game, really known for their arcade titles, I find, more than real good RPG or simulation games. But overall, this actually got very good ratings. Area 51, really happy to add that to my collection. The next game is something that I remember from the PC way back. I played it back when it first came out because it was all the rave, and this particular game is Myst 3 Exile, the perfect place to plan revenge. this is the third game in the Myst series. I can remember playing the original Myst on the PC, like I said, way back when, and it was a really confusing, not exactly the most exciting game in the world, let me tell you, but it was just really, really difficult to try to figure out what they wanted you to do with the game. It was followed up by Riven, and then this one, Myst 3, is the third in the series. Obviously, it came out on the PC at first, and this port for the Xbox, it was ported to the different consoles of the day. And again, it has mixed reviews. It's middle-of-the-road type of game. I don't know if these games are best suited for the console or they're best suited for the PC. I dare say they're probably best for the PC. But still, very interesting, and a lot of people would have wanted to play it. Didn't have a PC, so they were able to play it at the consoles. Really happy to add this one in great condition to my collection. The next game I picked up is Blood Omen 2, an action-adventure game set in the Legacy of Kain universe world. It's like the fourth game in that series. It's a fighting game set in, well, vampires and just action-adventure. Pretty good, well rated actually. It's got quite high ratings. I've not played many of the games. I have played Legacy of Kain a little bit, the very first one that was out, back on the original PS1, to be quite honest. I think it was quite a while ago. But I was really happy to add this one because I had seen it a couple times, but never in this good a shape. So when you get an opportunity to get them in this good a shape, especially a game of this quality, because again, like I said, it's rated like an 8 out of 10 average. Beautiful condition. Man, it's time to add it to the collection. Blood Omen 2. Very happy. Alright, down to the last game that I picked up for my Xbox collection. Last one for this video, and I picked up a copy of Air Force Delta Storm. Now, this may not seem like that big of a deal, but of all these games here, this was one that I was actually looking for. I'm not 100% sure. It seems like there's lots of them on eBay, and they're not that bad of a price, but I hadn't seen it in person anywhere that I've looked. And I had noted that one of the apps that I use marks it down as a fairly rare game, like 8 out of 10 or something like that. And I love games like this. It's an arcadey fighting game set in a futuristic alternate universe after we've cured all diseases and now the world's becoming overpopulated. And it's just an interesting premise, and I just enjoy flying games like this. I can remember back when I was in university how long ago that was. It was F-117A Stealth Fighter. I used to love playing that game on the PC. I might throw a little clip in here because it's just amazing to look at the graphics in that game now. At the time, we thought it was absolutely amazing. I think we used to attack Iraq and Saddam Hussein back in there. That was the games that we played. So I've always had a close place in my heart for any of these aircraft fighting games. And for whatever reason, going through the list of all the ones I needed, this is one that caught my attention, so I was really happy to pick it up for a great price that day. Anyway, finally, Air Force Delta Storm in the collection. Well guys, hopefully this was a fairly quick video today. A lot of stuff from my Xbox collection, that one PS3 game. Games that I just really love adding in. Man, getting closer and closer to that magic number of 500. Won't be long, I'll be there. Right on. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time after I get some more pickups. Take care, guys.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown,
Watch Papa Pete, old guy gamer.
what the hell?
And guys, I almost forgot one last thing. Kindness matters.